All right, so we're back here at Gamer Tag Radio, and again, we have a couple guests. While I'm on, making some moves in the world, you'll find out more about it in the future. But this segment, we have my beautiful wife. She's always on here. Riana Manuel-Peña.
Thank you. Excited to be back.
Yeah, and we go way back. Welcome back, Emily. Emily Rose, right?
Yes.
There you go.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me back on.
Yeah, we actually got together to play a game that we're going to be talking about here. And we haven't played a game in a long time. Since what? Since the G4 days, X-Play days,
yeah.
right? Yeah, it's been a while.
Man, I was thinking about that earlier this week. I'm like, oh, that anniversary is going to come up.
Oh, yeah.
This October, and it's going to be wild.
Oh, my God. I totally forgot about it. All right. No, it's all good. But shout out to Xbox for giving us early access to the new DLC for Sea of Thieves, The Legend of Monkey Island. Now, for those that don't know, I played this Monkey Island game long, way back in the days. Totally forgot about the story, everything. Emily, I know you're a huge fan of Monkey Island. When was the last time you actually played the game? You used to remember the story and everything like that.
I actually was introduced to this game for the first time and played it for the first time my senior year in college because it was one of the required games there was a class I was supposed to take called, it was like a narrative gaming class, and I was really excited to take it. However, there was all this bunch of homework. We had to play these games. We had to play Telltale's The Walking Dead. We had to play a few others as well. And so that was like super fun homework to do leading up to that class. But the issue was I wrote down the wrong day in my planner. I said Thursday for the class, and the class was on Tuesday. And the professor didn't let me come back. Yeah, I made him. Yeah, he was just like, well, you weren't there the first day, so you're permanently out of my class. So
wow,
I sadly didn't. I know. So I sadly didn't get to play it, or I didn't get to take the class. But I was really thankful because I got to play the special edition version of Secret of Monkey Island and Monkey Island 2 when they were available on the iPhone. I played it on my iPad back in 2014.
Okay.
2015-ish. Yeah. And so that's the one I'm most familiar with, which was like the audio-visual update, and it included the voice acting. But ever since I played those two, I've like loved the series. I love point-and-click adventure games, especially these like early 1990 ones that are just very, because the writing had to carry these games, and so they're just so funny and weird.
And for you, Ree, I know you played Sea of Thieves multiple times in the past, right?
Yeah.
Are you familiar with Monkey Island? Or this is something new to you for the first time, or what?
Yeah, I'm on a different end of the spectrum. I haven't played any of the Monkey Island games, so I did not have the same point of reference for a lot of the callbacks and Easter eggs and stuff, but still had a really great time, which we can get into in a few minutes.
Yeah, definitely. Well, the thing too is that we all got to play Sea of Thieves, and when it first came out back then. I know there was a couple new content expansions that came out for this too, so I was very familiar from that. But we were all sitting at the Xbox showcase that took place around a couple of weeks back, during Summer Game Fest and everything. And I remember being there when they announced the new update, and a lot of people got excited. We're like, okay, you know what? This makes sense for this game, for Sea of Thieves. It's the perfect combination. How was your reaction? For you ladies, when while you were there at the event seeing this announcement? Let's go with Emily. You got to see this, and you're a fan of Monkey Island.
I think the funniest part of this event live was like the Rare logo came up, and everyone was like, just really hoping for like a Banjo-Kazooie or something. And then all of a sudden it said, I believe it said like Lucasfilm Games, and immediately I was like, oh. And so, yeah, just seeing the trailer, I was like, man, this is a match made in heaven. How have they not done this yet? And I was just so excited because I haven't played Sea of Thieves in a long time. But I was like, man, I'm coming back to this game for this expansion.
Yeah, and I think Rare did a pretty good job, even for those that have never played Monkey Island, never heard of it. They did a pretty good job with just putting everything together for both. And I think they did something similar to that, that we also got to play. Was it the Pirates game? Pirates of
the Caribbean.
Yeah, that was, when was
How was that?
That was a lot of fun. It was actually the ride that the actual ride from
Mm.
Disney, from Disneyland and
Mhm.
Disney World. But I mean, there was like a couple of new things in there, but that was like a very awesome experience. So when I got to see this announcement during the showcase, I was like, man, is it going to be like that? Because that was a lot of fun playing that, right, Ree? What about you?
Yeah, no, I really enjoyed seeing this announcement. Of course, like most showcases, there's a logo and there's like a name drop, and you're like, is it the game of my dreams? Like, usually not. It's
Uh,
usually one that makes a lot more sense business wise. But no, this is really fun to see at that showcase, and again, not being familiar with Monkey Island, I was excited to see a reason to return to Sea of Thieves. So for me, and just in general, I'm not a huge fan of the PvP in that game simply because I'm not great at it, right? Like
Hmm.
it's very discouraging, like to go on this grand adventure with all your friends and have this great time, and you're on this island, you find this treasure, and then somebody takes it. Like
yeah,
I don't enjoy that part of it. Best water in any video game ever, like
Oh,
great
stunning.
humor.
hands
I love
down,
the art style,
hands down.
and the ship mechanics are actually a lot of fun. But yeah, there were just certain parts of the PvP that weren't for me. So when these DLCs get announced, I get excited because it gives me something to play again in
Hmm.
this world, and I really do enjoy being in the world of Sea of Thieves. So as you mentioned, Danny, the Pirates DLC, I had a similar experience where I was like, I just had loved having a reason to go back, and this was definitely in that same vein.
Yeah, and this game, it's one of those that it's the best when you're playing with friends. Like I think it's important
Yes.
to have a group of three, maybe four. I haven't tried two yet, but there's always been three or four for me. But let's start talking about our experience with Monkey Island. So we start the game, and in the beginning, you're like in this little town. They give you like an introduction about Monkey Island and everything like that, and then from there, you take your boat and you go straight to this location where it's like a green light. And once you go in there, that's when everything changes. But I was watching the video a couple hours ago because I was, just editing. And Emily looked like
Hmm.
you were struggling, Emily, in the beginning. What happened
What?
there?
Oh, is this about the sail?
Yes, we were sailing towards the
Yes.
green light. The green light, I
We
remember.
were sailing towards the green light, and I had made like the back sail way too big, and so I'm trying to drive the ship, and I just can't see where I'm going, and so I'm like, I kept calling out to y'all, being like, just tell me where to go,
Hmm.
and I was not very clear with what sail was giving me a hard time, and so, but no, y'all, I mean, this is another just great reason as to why it's so much more fun and more important to play with other people, like especially in a game like Sea of Thieves
Yeah.
because it's like it's really tough to do like everything on that ship alone. We all had to kind of re-go through the tutorial again, and even just like sailing and trying to load a cannonball by yourself is a little like, oh, you have to really be on it. But no, that's what was so much fun with sailing was like I was being a goober, but like y'all were also guiding me so perfectly, and so it was great. I loved it.
Yeah, and let's talk about once we arrived to Melee Island, right? So
Yes.
we arrived there, and I had no idea what to do. I was like, where we have to go. So we spread out, and we were going to like different locations. I know, Emily, there was one part where you got excited because you remembered something from the game. I was just running around with Ree, trying to figure out like, okay, what's next? Where's this puzzle? What is it that we need to do? But it took us a while to figure things out. And I can't quite remember who was the first person that noticed, like, wait a minute, we have to do this first. Was it you, Rihanna, that noticed that? Do you
Yeah,
remember?
I think we all kind of discovered things sort of similarly. And
Hmm.
to be clear, like once you sail through that green light, you exit the PvP or open seas area and you go into your own game instance. So from there on, you don't see any other player characters. It's just
Hmm.
whoever's in your crew.
Hmm.
And so the three of us sort of started exploring. There's a bar at the beginning of the island where we started going in there. Like, can we pickpocket people? Can we get a drink? Like, what are we allowed to do? Right? You start of trying to find the rules and the structure of this space and this challenge. But what we did know is that we were searching for Guybrush Threepwood. Is that right?
Yes, Guybrush Threepwood.
Guybrush Threepwood, which we found out from the opening island that Danny described earlier, and we just kept trying to like talk to people, maybe overhear things, like see if there were like clues in the environment telling us like what we were supposed to do. And the bar eventually sort of like gave us a little bit of guidance as to like there's these three people in a back room and they seem kind of important, and they start dropping mentions of different things you can do to get the audience with, you know, the guy who is now the mayor, I think, of the town, which is this guy Guybrush. So then we're trying to figure out, all right, how we get an invitation to go see him because we need to talk to him. And then I think from there we started figuring out all the different pieces that go into winning that invitation. But what I really like about it is that it starts unfolding a lot like an escape room, where you have sort of a general goal, but you don't know how you're supposed to reach it. And there's all of these clues everywhere. There's people who you can talk to who maybe give you some. There's different places where you can start seeing what you can pick up, what you can potentially buy from vendors, like doors that are locked that clearly need a key. And you just start figuring out like what it is you need to discover in order to progress, which is really, really great.
Yeah, there was a lot of moments there that we got so excited once we figured out, because we were there for a while, and I don't know if any of y'all got like frustrated, like, okay, what is it we need to do next? But I was okay. I was just enjoying the moment with everything, right? Like I remember we had to like get together, dress up as like also part of the cooking team, right? We would go back to the bar, go to that area. We have to like I think create a potion. What also cook, right?
A
We
recipe.
had to cook the meat a certain way because we were like, because I think Danny, you wandered into a back alleyway and you saw like these dogs like needed meat, and then I remember I was like, oh wait, there's meat back at the bar,
Yeah.
and we're like, oh great, we gotta go do like it was just like I think that was the most joy was puzzle solving and problem solving as a group.
Yeah.
Because like you said, I think that's such a brilliant analogy, Rihanna, because it very much like reminded me, because that's very much how like these old point and click adventure games were. It was just like go talk to people and literally point and click at everything, see what you can pick up, see what you can interact. I'm going to try and use this key on every single darn door I find, or like how do I use this meat on things. And so yeah, but like I never thought of the translation of like a 2D point and click adventure game would become an escape room when transformed into 3D, if that makes sense. So like getting to explore the 3D version of Monkey Island versus its 2D kind of original form. And then, yeah, doing these kind of point and click adventure moves in a more kind of 3D modern gaming space 100% felt like an escape room. And that's what was so much fun.
And what was the things, Emily, stood out to you that like Easter eggs or anything that it was very familiar to the original game, from when it comes like the puzzles or like just the story? Was there anything like that?
We going full spoilers here?
Just
No, I won't spoil
It's no
anything.
spoiler. It's no spoiler.
Because also, too, like, we only played the first part, and there's 3 total parts.
Yeah. Yeah. And that comes out, for those that don't know, that eventually is going to come out like later throughout. I don't know if it's like throughout the summer or what, because
I think they
it's
said
by phases, right?
once a month, all free DLC starting July 20th.
Okay.
With the first of 3 parts.
Awesome.
Which is really cute, because, that's how the original game was broken up. It was 3 parts. But yeah, I think just like that first moment where you see Melee Island and the music kind of cues up was just so magical. Yeah, I ran up to the point lookout where the lookout guard is, because like that's the first moment in the game, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is just so much fun and so cool. I just loved like going through the rooms and seeing the 3D versions of them and like being able to explore them first person. And yeah, I was like really surprised. There's a character in this game or in this DLC that you have to interact with, who is from the third Monkey Island game, the 2D animated one, which I didn't think was going to happen. I thought this game was solely based off of Monkey Island 1 and 2. And so to see this character from 3 there, I was like, oh my gosh, this is like just such a fun little love letter to this series that has just had such a wild ride throughout its life. I mean, it just got, there was a game that came out just last year that was the unofficial kind of sequel to the second one from the original creators.
And what was it that for both of you, your favorite puzzle throughout the whole game? Because I have one, but
you go first, Rihanna.
Yeah.
Favorite puzzle. Ooh, that's tough because they're also interconnected. I think my favorite one was trying to figure out how to. I'm trying to say this without spoiling it. Like how to make it midnight. I think that was my favorite one.
Oh, okay, that's a
My
good one.
favorite was when you were jumping through the map You found a way to get into locked areas.
That was
I
fun.
did. So I was exploring. I was exploring, and as you know, in Sea of Thieves is one of the few games where you can jump, and I started climbing the walls and made my way into rooftops, and it's not a huge island, so I was able to jump from rooftop to rooftop and actually get past a barrier that is, of course, part of the game and one of your objectives to get past a guard. I just hopped over over the gate, but to the game's credit, it didn't let me progress, nor did it break. I was able to just jump back into the water on the side, off the side of the island, and swim back to the beginning area, and everything was still fine. So, like, kudos to Rare for, A, letting me have fun breaking invisible walls, and B, making sure that it didn't completely crash the entire instance.
Yeah, one of my favorite ones was the drinking part of the game. That's all I will say.
Oh yeah.
That was a lot of fun because I discovered a lot of money because of it. So that was a lot of fun. And the other one, I think the hook.
The shipment.
Yes,
puzzle?
the shipment.
Finding
Yeah,
a lost shipment.
Yeah, can't say more than that. But that was a lot of fun.
That was my favorite too. I think because at the end of that puzzle, just having completed it was just like I said, it's that serotonin hit where you're like, oh yeah, we did it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? You're like, we're so smart. Look at us figuring everything out.
Yeah. Now, Emily, question: once we got past the gate, was the house very, very familiar?
Not
the one that we went
too
inside.
Much. That for me, the town was much more familiar in Monkey Island.
Okay.
That's just it was really fun. I think my favorite thing was just standing in there and just watching and interacting with Guybrush Threepwood because I'm like, oh yeah, I love this guy.
Yeah.
This goofy pirate man. But yeah, for me it was the town. I just loved that town.
And now I think it was returning voice actors, right, from the original game.
Yes,
That
which is
awesome.
really fun.
Cool. That's really, really cool. For only one character or multiple characters?
I know. I believe it was Guybrush and LeChuck.
That's awesome.
But I think there were others too, but I don't want to say with 100% certainty without having done research.
Yeah. Now, I know there's a moment in the game, there's some action. Not going to say what it is exactly, but that was a lot of fun. That part of the game was a lot of fun also. I really enjoyed that part. Now, for you both, especially you, Emily, because you're a fan of Monkey Island, what is it you would like to see in the second part of the game?
I'm so glad you asked because I wrote this down, Danny.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Well, because in the trailer for the DLC, which is one of the moments in the trailer that got me really, really excited, is you see Stan Stanman, who is the fast-talking salesman that appears throughout the series. He's got like that big crazy big crazy pirate hat, and he's wearing like a used car salesman kind of checkered jacket. And he's in the trailer. And so I was so bummed we didn't see him in this first part. But knowing that there's a second part and a third part, I'm like, yes, I am so excited. He is just one of my favorite. He's just such a funny character. I just love it. And I'm so excited to run into him whenever we do.
No, that's good. That's good. Now, Ree, what about you? Is there anything that you would like to see in the future in this DLC?
Yeah, I would like to get maybe even more into some of the mystical elements that are sort of hinted at as you complete the first part, without giving too much away. That's really intriguing to me. I like that there's, magic and absurdity in this world. Like root beer can be a weapon. I enjoy it quite a bit, but I'm looking forward to seeing if like there's, any parts where we can like be magic wielders and, like do spells and things like that. That's always been really fun, and a really fun aspect of Sea of Thieves is the sort of supernatural for me. So that's what I hope to see. But honestly, I'll be happy with anything. Like I really just love the tone, the humor is spot on. There's laugh out loud funny moments like constantly. And yeah, whatever they got for me, I trust them. They're going to knock it out of the park. Yeah,
one of our favorite moments was we were all excited that we completely solved the puzzle and we're going straight to Guy's house, right? And she just jumped to the water. I don't know what happened there. And we were like, wait, what happened, Ree? So I think you got too excited there in that moment.
I did.
Yeah.
I did.
Yeah. Now, the things that I would like to see in this game for the second part and future content is maybe other parts of the island. I would like to check out if there's anything else on the other side. Maybe also, Emily, the part when you climb on top of the mountain, is there anything else that we can discover there later in the game? And because I'm a fan of Sea of Thieves, are we gonna go out to the ocean? Is there other puzzles that's not only in the island but maybe outside of the island? That I think that will be really cool. Similar to when you play Sea of Thieves, we work together, we check out the map, we go to like a different location to discover
Yeah,
something.
I would love to. I think, yeah, I'm going to tack on to that. I really want there to be a part. I'm hoping there's a part where you get to actually like do a sea battle against LeChuck with Guybrush and Elaine. Or if not, you're just on a boat with Guybrush and Elaine and you just get to hang out with them. I think those are like, I want to see them on a boat.
Yeah, and
I will
ready.
say we
I'm ready for
do
part two.
know from recent Xbox Wire article by Joe Scrubbles. There's an interview with creative director Mike Chapman, and he did mention that you will get to go to Monkey Island eventually.
Woohoo!
So we know that's on the horizon.
So people don't get confused. Melee Island, Monkey Island, two different places.
Yes.
Okay.
Melee Island is like your home, kind of your hub. That's where Elaine is governor, and now it's where Guybrush is governor. And then Monkey Island is kind of where LeChuck likes to hang out.
You think how creepy is going to be that area when we go there?
I'm excited.
Is it that creepy? I don't remember because I never played the original.
There's a spooky. It's not like creepy, but I want to see just because of how well they translated the Melee Island into 3D and explorable space. I really am excited to see how they translate Monkey Island into an explorable space.
Oh snap! So we're gonna do this once Chapter 2 comes out. I hope we could play together to figure it out.
Yes,
because I had a blast playing with you. It was.
Oh my gosh, that was so fun. We were really really good at it too. Like we got a little stuck a couple of times, but we finished it.
Yeah, I think it took us like a little bit of 2 hours, or a little bit over 2 hours.
A little over 2 hours.
Yeah. Because I recorded the whole thing, and I still have the full video. It was awesome. Really, really fun.
Well, yeah, the clips from that are hilarious.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I just want to say once again, thank you to Microsoft, the Xbox team, for sending us the content early. That was a lot of fun. Can't wait to play future content of this. And Emily, thank you for joining us too. That was a lot of fun, playing.
Oh my gosh, yes, thank you for having me.
Yeah, have we ever played together with Ree, you and I? Like, I don't remember if we did. Like,
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I know we played a lot of like Ubisoft games and stuff like that for us to review, but I think this was the first time all of us together playing.
Yeah, this might have been.
Yeah, cool. And Ree, thank you as always for joining and and for jumping in the water because you were celebrating. That was a lot of fun. I hope
I was celebrating. I totally didn't trip and fall off the side.
It's so good. All right, but thank you for listening. Until next time, take care.